Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by Bronx. This is Tarot Talk. These are Tarot Things, and I'm your host, Boogie Down Bronx, and I'm here to take care of the Virgos. Virgo, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This reading can resonate for you if you have Virgo as a sun, moon, rising, Venus, north node, or south node sign. Quick shout out to my Patreon. Today is November 1st, so the cycle starts over for my Patreon. So this is a great time to sign up because if you were to sign up like yesterday, it charges you on the 1st of every month. So it would have charged you when you signed up and when you on the 1st. So if you want to start fresh on my Patreon, I got early access content on there. I got exclusive content that I don't put on YouTube. And I always put up before I post on my my website whenever I have new products, especially my decks. If you want to be the first one to get your hands on it or get your hand on my products, I always put it on Patreon first, okay? So there's a lot of benefits to it. But anyway, we got a Scorpio new moon this week. You know, my moon sign is in Scorpio, and I'm already feeling a little bit, I don't know. Does anybody else feel like off? Like I don't know what I feel, melancholy or I'm not like sad. I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. But for Virgos, especially Virgo risings, it's hitting in the third house of communication. So you may have some new starts in communication or a breakthrough with communication or thinking or some type of interaction or group study. Anywho, let's see what we got. Let's flip all these cards and get into it. All right. So for Virgo, surrender to your soul's path, settling for mediocrity, honor your boundaries. 888. Okay. Spider weave. All right. So I'm in my new apartment, y'all. If y'all are like, where have you been? Or like you're confused of my location. This is my new apartment. I'm still setting it up. I have to get some stuff back here because it's so bare. But yeah, this is my new apartment. So this is where I'll be most of the time. Anyway, first card out for what you need to surrender. Surrender to your soul's path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. Okay, so some of you, there's a big like fated path for your life. Okay, so some of you Virgos right now might be a little confused as to where you're going, where your path is taking you. Are you on the right path? Yes, you are. Okay, everything that you go through, everything that's put on your path, everything that's taken away is meant for your soul's journey. Our souls choose when we reincarnate. They choose what they want to do, the lessons, the people involved. All right. Next, you have 888. Awesome. New opportunities and abundance are coming your way. Nice. But you have settling for mediocrity and you have honor your boundaries. So for many of you, you might get a lesson soon about needing to stand up for what you're worth or really needing to have a fresh start when it comes down to your worth and what you're settling for. Some of you are settling to some capacity, whether this be in your friendships, your relationships, your jobs, something here where you're settling and you can have more, but you're just choosing not to either hold people accountable to your standards, which is interesting because, you know, Virgo energy is known for being perfectionist and we're picky and all this other stuff. But to be honest, I feel like Virgos are also, can be very humble, at least I am. And so we always lower ourselves to people because we don't feel like people can come up to our standards. Sometimes our standards are unrealistic, I'll give it that. But not all the time, okay? So we just want the best for us and everyone else around us. Anyway, let's look into more about this. We're gonna pull from my everything deck, which you know is my deck. And we're going to see what is it that Virgo is settling for. Mediocrity. What is Virgo settling for? Communication. Remember I just talked about communication because it's hitting the third house. What is Virgo settling for where they should not be settling? Where is Virgo settling where they shouldn't be settling at this time, where they can have more? Some of you are not charging what you're worth. What else? Some of you are, a lot of you, it's in work. Okay, you need to raise the prices. Raise the prices, okay? I'll show you guys in a minute. And let me clarify, what is the new opportunities coming towards Virgo? What new opportunities are coming towards Virgo at this time? Okay, for 888. Okay. So this is what we have here for where you guys are settling. You have artists. Some of you are artists, or you do some type of creative work, musician, anything like that. Something you do that's artistic or creative for many of you. And then you have job loss or decrease, and then you have internship. So this is why I was like, some of you are about to like settle for just good enough in some way, where you should hold out, honor your boundaries, stay in your integrity. Don't just jump into the first opportunity that's like, okay, this is good enough, or okay, you know, not willing to negotiate your prices or some type of offer that's coming towards you. So just be careful about that. But really, when it comes to money, you're going to be happy that you either didn't settle for less if somebody's trying to like talk you down on a price, or you need to, like I said, raise your prices, Virgo. Raise your prices, or something that you are offering, or expect more. Like for some of you, you had your mindset on a certain amount of money you wanted to make, or for a job, you're trying to set the bar at a certain thing. And it could be like you really like the job, but they're not paying you enough. You know, I can't tell you what to do, but, you know, don't shortchange yourself at this time. That's really the message here, is to make sure that you are keeping your boundaries up and you're honoring your boundaries there. You have proposal. So there is some type of offer coming towards you. Let me clarify a little bit more about what the offer is here. What's the offer coming towards Virgo? So when it comes down to this proposal, whether this is in a relationship or this is, for some of you, it is in a relationship, you have to, ooh, Virgo. You have marriage, life partnership, you have proposal, and then you have, this is the one. Okay. So as soon as you stop settling, because it's like whatever you want exists out there. It exists, whatever it is, whether it's like the dream job, it's like the amount of money you want to make, the type of person you're hoping for. Now, this doesn't mean it's perfect, okay, Virgo? It's not perfect, but what you're hoping for, what you're looking for exists, okay? You feel like somewhere in your subconscious mind, you're like, I don't feel like this ideal, not perfect, ideal relationship, this ideal job, pay, situation, is out there, okay? But this is telling you that it is. And if you keep settling, you'll never get it. All right, there's something new, but you know, there has to be an environment for it to come in, and it's something that'll be long term. If you honor your boundaries of what you need, what you don't need, this means either not dealing with people or situations that you know cannot meet the ideal expectations for you right now, or this means that you have to hold the people currently accountable in your life and see if they can meet those expectations. If not, then it's just not going to happen for you, okay, Virgo? So you have also here a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo could be coming in or be significant for you. You have luck, happiness, and then you have blessing in disguise. So for some of you, either you'll be walking away from something that you've been settling in, or you're realizing that, okay, I was about to settle before you watch this video, but now you're like, nah, I'm not gonna do that, because what I want does exist out there for me. I just have to stay strong. And I have to just, you know, it's like you have to have a fine line, not expecting everything to be perfect, but we do have certain standards, and certain things do have to be ideal. And it's like you have non-negotiables, okay? So whatever those non-negotiables are for you, Virgo, you don't want to, you know, just overlook those and compensate. Okay, let's see. What else is coming towards Virgo? What else is coming towards Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North and South Node. Some type of communication, though, is coming in with, like I said, a proposal here. Okay. Oh, and then you also have family/family issues. So could be a situation where you're talking to family, or you need to honor some boundaries with your family. What's coming towards Virgo at this time? Coming towards Virgo. Why is the Seven of Swords here? Why is the Seven of Swords here for what's coming to Virgo? What's coming in Virgo's life? Whoa. Okay. All these cards are flying all over the place. All right, so I think Virgo, you're coming into this realization that some people you just need to leave quietly. Like you need to kind of move on in silence and secrecy. The Seven of Swords, I don't feel like this is like what's coming towards you from an external source. I think this is you, okay? Because we are in Scorpio season. And Scorpio in the 3rd house. This means that you're moving a bit more private. With Scorpio season, wherever Scorpio is in your houses, and in the new moon sense, it's going to be in the 3rd house for Virgo risings. It's you. That's the area of life you want to keep more private. Okay, so if you had Scorpio in the 3rd house or transiting your 3rd house, then you want to keep communication matters more private. All right, so I think this is you. You're kind of like making these moves in silence. Like you're thinking long term. You're really thinking about, okay, who am I about to cut off? Who am I going to walk away from? What am I moving on from? But it's real quiet. It's not like anything where you're like trying to be controversial or you're trying to necessarily be sneaky, but you're just realizing like some things are better left unsaid. Basically, with the moon card, could be in regards to a Pisces here. And you're just going to really just shift your energy. That's all you're doing here. Okay. Now, if it's presented to you or the opportunity comes up to talk, which for many of you it will, you're going to address it. Like you have no problems being direct or letting somebody know what's up. But you know that this is more so for you. This is a clean slate for you to start and think long term about where you want to go, because you're coming into like a major realization here about what you've been settling for. Okay. And you know, you're just not in the place where you really feel like communicating or talking about what your next plan is, what's your next step. You're just really wanting to keep it to yourself. Okay, you're keeping something to yourself, something sacred, and you're just making these moves on your own. Anything else for Virgo? Coming towards Virgo. I like this. I like this a lot. I kind of feel this energy as a Virgo. Sorry, y'all. I'm getting a new phone so I can have an extra phone to record on, because I've been running out of space ever since the retrograde, and then I have to keep starting over. Well, not starting over, but like picking up where I left off and da-da-da-da-da. So anyway, yeah, a lot of you are moving forward, and you're just not telling anybody anything. You're like, I just want to move forward on my own. Cancer energy, Scorpio energy right here with the Judgment card. And you're having like this rebirth moment with confidence though. Like people are just going to be watching you make these moves and you haven't been talking about it. People are going to be like, oh, I didn't know you were doing that. I didn't know you were married. I didn't know you were in a relationship. I didn't know that you had a business. I didn't know you had a XYZ. You know what I'm saying? King of Wands, Queen of Wands. That's because you're just choosing to move in silence. You're choosing to just do you. You don't have to announce every single thing that you do. And you're realizing that because you don't need the opinions of others getting in your way, getting in your head. You don't want anybody to stop you. The Chariot card is about not letting anybody stop you and doing what makes you happy. Okay? This is where you guys are heading, Virgo. I love this for us. And it's really because you're realizing where you've been settling. You're like, okay, I'm going to adjust accordingly. I don't need to like tell the whole world. I don't need to, and this is not, and like I said, this isn't you being sneaky. This isn't you trying to hide anything. You're just really just shifting your focus onto what's most important, who you need to be telling what to. And you know that you don't need to be telling everybody everything. Right? Okay, so what's the advice for Virgo at this time? What's the advice for Virgo? Chariot card again. You're just moving. You're just moving forward. What's the advice for Virgo? You're moving as a hermit, as you are. What else for Virgo? What's the advice for Virgo at this time? I feel like though, some of you are withholding that communication from certain people. Like I said, the ones that matter, you'll be able to communicate with, Eight of Wands. But I think this is Eight of Wands is more so not about really communication coming in. With this Five of Pentacles, it's about you withholding communication in some way so that you can just focus and move on for where you need to go. Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so again, the energy here is a lot of you're healing and grieving in private or in silence, right? You have the Three of Swords and the Five of Cups. You are able to really honor your feelings of disappointment, sadness, anger, guilt for needing to cut ties, walk away. You know, in some way you're honoring your boundaries. That doesn't mean that you are just an emotionless person. Just because you don't show that you're sad about a breakup or you're hurt, you're upset, doesn't mean that you don't feel it. For many of you, you do feel it very heavily because you have the Ten of Swords at the bottom under the Six of Swords. So but you're just being very realistic about it, right? You're being very realistic about moving on at this time. You understand that you had to part ways. You understand that you were settling. You understand that, you know, everything happens for a reason. And it's not taking away the pain. And you're not trying to pretend it's not there, but you realize that you have no choice but to move forward, move on, let these people go from your past and just keep moving, okay? You realize you take it as a loss, you charge it to the game, and you're like, okay, now what's next for my life? You're not stuck. You're not in a fantasy. You're not in a la la land over here. Like, I wish this would come back. I wish that we can work it out. You're done with that. You're done with that, and you realize being in that place of just not moving forward isn't going to help you at all. And that place of pushing away new opportunities because you were sulking or you were wallowing, you're not doing that anymore because you know that there's always more out there for you. You know that there's always more people that will help you, want to help you, are going to come in and replace what was lost. 888. Something is replacing what was lost. But for some of you, you maybe like have a final test to see if you're going to honor your boundaries of letting the old back in. I do not recommend that. You know, Virgo ruling the Hermit card associated with Virgo is you're taking some time alone to process, to grieve, to feel, to understand, to feel that loneliness, feel that sense of loss, that sense of separation, but knowing that there is always more to come. Like I said, you are looking at things from a very realistic point of view. You're not looking at it as like, I want this back type of thing for many of you. All right, what else do we have for Virgo as a ask and receive? You get what you have the courage to ask for help or support. Okay. So for others of you, like I said, ask and you shall receive. Some of you haven't even asked for what you really wanted. Maybe you asked from certain people, they couldn't give it to you. Okay, ask somebody else, right? Or, you know, there's other people that you can receive from. Connect with others, host a movie night, have a slumber party, surround yourself with loving energy. So like I said, every time something leaves your life, something has to replace it. All right, so that just because you're going at this alone, just because you need to feel your feelings alone, you want to grieve in private, you want to be in privacy, that doesn't mean you need to just shut the world out. Okay, you want to eventually open yourself back up to new people, to new opportunities. Like I said, new opportunities and abundance are coming your way soon. You don't want to be closed off forever just because you realize that you're going through a tough time or you're going through a loss. Okay, Virgo, so a lot of you, like I said, the doors are about to swing open once you realize that it's time to move on. You're not settling anymore. You don't have to make a big fuss about it. It doesn't have to be like a big announcement of what's ending in your life. You're just kind of moving on. And people are going to be like, oh, I didn't even know that was over for you. Or I didn't know you were doing something else. And you're going to be like, yeah, pretty much. So that's what I have for you, Virgo. Thank you so much for watching. If this reading resonated for you, let me know in the comments below. I am at Tarot by Bronx on everything.